Hello everybody and welcome to the blind commentary for Overlord, starting from Season 1, Episode 1. And I have very little knowledge of the series, except that it's from light novels, and I actually do have some of those light novels, at least downloaded ebook form. And it would be really interesting to go through the differences after I have watched the show, which I will probably do, because I think that there's more books released than there's the show to go. But anyways, I have very little idea about what the show is, except like in short, my friend recommended it because it was basically like D&D except anime, and we are following an overpowered character. So that's a pretty glowing recommendation in my eyes. So without further ado, let's start. So I didn't know that this was actually and not exactly an isekai story, but very close to an isekai story, like people trapped in a game world. I had no idea that that would be the main premise. So I haven't even read a synopsis of the plot, so you know how blind I'm going into this. It, as at the very least, like from what I have experienced, like Sword Art Online was really a disappointment to say the least. So I have some reservations at the very least, but I have high hopes because my friend enjoyed this series immensely, and this won the poll. So there's probably going to be a reason why this won the poll. Those are popularity contests after all, so this should be fairly good series. So I do recognize the main character at the very least, in case it wasn't obvious. But so he's supposed to be very overpowered and everything should be a breeze. But I don't think this is going to be in the same way. It's not going to be so much focused on comedy as, like for an example, One Punch Man is. So I wonder, is it going to be how dramatic this series will be? So about the opening, at the very least, I have to mention something. So that's it's a very rocking opening at the very least. It has a very good bass line to it, and it has a very strong driving chorus to it, and it has a very good tempo, and it's really upbeat and energetic, and it showcases the main characters quite well. At least what I presume to be the main characters. At least I know that one Sucubus is going to be an important character. Don't know to what extent though, but still. So yeah, it's a very at the very least kind of good opening. I kind of dig it. It's I like rock, so that's a very good rock opening. I actually kind of like, it's a small touch, but I like him. Like I think the main character's name is Ines. So I kind of like that he's communicating with emoticons, like how you would actually do that in an RPG or MMORPG. So kind of in the same manner. So it's a small touch, but it's a nice touch. So one of the main characters, that butler Sebas, is actually an NPC. That's an interesting little twist on it. I think he will be at the very least important, so it's interesting that an NPC would be in a main role. At least this is my assumption. So even the Sucubus is an NPC. That's really really big surprise, considering that I assume that I'm pretty sure that she's an important character, so it's very surprising that she would be an NPC. Oh, this is cool. It's the grand old story of being trapped in the server. So that's a pretty cool twist on this. It's just not that surprising of a twist, but it is at the very least a twist.
使えない。どういうことだ。石が会話をしている。ありえない。何か異常が発生している。
So this is where the story actually becomes very much an isekai story, trapped in another world. This is rather interesting, actually. I have high expectations of the story, so I actually kind of like how much the main character Ines is actually, or Momonga, I think, how much he's actually humanized so far. So he's not Kirito, and that's a good thing.
一体どうなっているんだ。
I am a sucker for mysteries, so this at the very least sets up a very good mystery, and it is actually rather intriguing what the reason for the things to be shut down is. So I quite liked it. It's a very good setup for a mystery. It's effective and simple, and it actually kind of is harrowingly similar to SAO. So, but in a good way, because I have higher expectations of this. So I hope they will be met.
だが次の最後の一手、これだけは確認しなければ。アルベド、胸を触ってもよいか。これは必要なことなんだ。そう、自然に聞けば。構わんにはいないな。全然無理でした。
もちろんです。どうぞお好きにしてください。
Jesus Christ. That's... How is that the final test? That... Okay.
状況を整理しよう。なかったな。
ここで私は初めてを迎えるのですね。
え？
服は。
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny. It's Tenleys. Yep. It's it has comedic overtones to it.
どういたしましょうか。自分で脱いだ方がよろしいでしょうか。
この問題は後回しだ。今しなくてはならないことを片付けねば。
Oh, he can actually teleport. That's surprising. I wonder, like, I was actually going to just say that I know that he's actually going to be a spellcaster, but I wonder exactly when we're going to see some spells, and immediately he does a spell. That's I know that he's supposed to be a super powerful spellcaster, so it's going to be interesting to see what exactly type of spells. Like, I know there's one scene, like I have seen one scene where he just buffs up magic for like 15 seconds before casting any actual spells, so, or any actual attack spells. So it's going to be interesting to see like how they handle magic in this game. Yeah, it's kind of hard to call it a game anymore.
成功だ。
早くしなさい。
So I was calculating the series to be a drama. It has very clear comedic overtones to it, and I'm actually completely fine with that, because at the very least it's doing its job very well. Like, for example, the background music is very jovial, so it's very bouncy and happy, and it's very much just light music, so it very well sets up that this is supposed to be a comedic scene. So the show is doing a good job of setting up the atmosphere, what it wants to be, and that's good, because it is helpful in creating contrast. Hopefully later on there will be more drama to the show, but it's helpful to set up contrast by having some comedic scenes first, or to have comedic scenes at all, because at the very least, when they are set up well, they are going to be a very good contrast to the more serious scenes later on.
迎撃システムまあなんだ
I like how humanized he is by having really nerdgasm over that legendary weapon. That's amusing. I find it extremely amusing. So and it's pretty good in humanizing Momonga. It's very good in that.
そんなわけだ
すごいですモモンガ様
そういうわけで喉が渇いただろう
That's actually pretty cool, having a dimension door, or rather bag of holding in the staff as well. That's actually kind of entertaining.
モモンガ様ってもっと怖いのかと思ってました
んそうかそっちの方が良いならそうする
今の方がいいです絶対いいですおや私が一番でありんすか
さてこの世界が何なのかまだわからないが
That's actually a thing that, I wonder, I'm really bad with voices, so I wonder if they actually hired 2 voice actors for the main character. That would be quite something. That's pretty surprising if they did that.
NPC たちは忠誠を尽くして
Okay then. So that was that. So about the ending, I like my rock, so that's it's a very appealing ending at the very least on its base level. I do wonder though, since Albedo was featured, only Albedo was featured in the ending. I wonder how important of a role she will actually play, because she seems to be in the position of the greatest power, and she's probably going to be the strongest of the servants, or the guardians rather. It's going to be interesting to see how important she will be actually. But yeah, it's a pretty good ending at the very least. It also has a very good rock theme to it. It has a very good, not as strong of a baseline as well, actually they didn't have a baseline at all. So, but it's a fine enough ending. But now, on to the actual final thoughts about the episode. So, it's a very good, at the very least, setting up episode, because it just set up the main character and how he's actually going to be. He actually even already demonstrated that he will test out some of his powers, and he will test things out before actually doing anything else. So that it also sets up that he is actually kind of intelligent and kind of introspective, because he actually does, or he did think about things through before acting on them. So it's certainly a very good setting up episode, and it does set up, for an example, the mystery of what exactly happened and how they are locked in the outer world. But it actually also sets up an interesting motive for the main character, because it's not certain that he should try to return to the real world, because, as he said, what's the point of living there in the world if you are just going to go to work, come to home, and crash onto your bed? So it's pretty interesting at the very least, and I quite like it. It's pretty effective, and we also got the first glimpse of all of the, I presume, all of the main characters. At the very least, all of the guardians, and of course of the main character, and it is a pretty good demonstration of the main character's personality traits. And oh my god, I've gone over half an hour. Let's wrap this up. So yeah, it's a pretty good opening episode. It sets up a few things and it gets things going. So yeah, it's effective, it's efficient, it's also pretty well paced as well. I didn't even notice that the time went by so fast. It felt really compact and filled with information though, so I wonder how information-full the episodes will be going forward. But at the very least, it's a good first episode. I'm pretty happy and I'm pretty satisfied with it. And it is pretty interesting that all the other main characters shown so far are what used to be NPCs. So yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good, and I'm happy about it. So that being said, I thank you all very much for watching. I hope to see you in the future. Have a great day and stay awesome. Genmu out. Thank you all very much for watching.